Hello class, welcome. In this session, I am English teacher Gaurav Rai. Today, I will start chapter first of supplementary reader, class 8th standard. The topic is how the camel got his hump. So, you are all unknown to the word hump. The meaning of the word hump is a rounded fleshy mass such as on a camel on the back you have seen. So before starting the chapter we must know about the summary of the chapter. When the animals began to work for man, the camel lived in a desert because he was idle and refused to help. The dog, the horse, and the ox all urged him to join in their work, but he only answered hump. They complained to the man who said he was sorry, but they would just have to work longer hours themselves. Then they complained to the jinn in charge of all deserts. So the jinn went to see the camel and told him to work, but still all he would say was hump. The jinn made a magic that puffed up the camel back into a hump and condemned him to work for 3 days without eating, living on his hump. Instead, to make up for the days he had missed, he still has his hump. He never did make up the last time and he still behaves badly. So, in this story, we are going to read the world had just begun and the animals were working for humans. There was one lazy animal that did nothing and said nothing but hump. Even the clever jinn was at his wits' end. Wits' end means to be in despair. He was hopeless. So let us come on the chapter from paragraph first. In the beginning, when the world was new and the animals were just beginning to work for man, there was a camel and he lived in the middle of a howling desert because he didn't want to work. He ate sticks and thorns and prickles, and when anybody spoke to him, he said hump, just hump, and no more. So, in this first paragraph, in the starting of the chapter, in the beginning, when the world was new, when the world was created by the God, on that time, animals were just beginning to work for man. Animals were working only for man, and there was a camel, and he lived in the howling middle of a howling desert. What do you mean by the word howling? Howling means long, loud cry. Means that he was living in a desert which was filled with noise, filled with loud cry, because he didn't want to work. And the camel was very lazy, very lazy. He did not like to work. He ate sticks, twigs. He ate sticks, twigs, thorns, and prickles. What do you mean by the word prickles? Thorns. The sharp, the sharp things that you see is known as thorns, prickles. So, and when anybody spoke to him, he said hump, just hump, and no more. So, in the beginning, when the world has created by the God, on that time, there was a camel who was living in a howling desert and he was doing nothing. He was eating sticks, thorns, and prickles. And when anybody spoke to him, said to him anything, he only repeats the same word. He repeated the same word hump, just hump, and no more. Presently, the horse came to him on Monday morning with a saddle on his back and said, Camel, O camel, come out and trot like the rest of us. Presently. Presently means soon. The horse came to him on Monday morning. On Monday morning, when horse came in desert with a saddle. What do you mean by the word saddle? Saddle means rider's seat. You have seen the back of a horse, of on horse, rider's seat, where you can sit or any rider can sit on a saddle on his back and said, Camel, O camel, come out and trot. What do you mean by the word trot? Trot means to walk in a steady manner. Trot means move at medium pace. So camel, on that time horse came and the horse said to him, O camel, come with me and move at a medium pace. Walk with us. Walk with me. Hump sat the camel, and the horse went away and told the man. On that time, what was said by the camel? Only the camel said the word hump, and the horse went back, returned. And when the horse returned, he told to his man that he said only hump. Presently, the dog came to him with a stick in his mouth and said, Camel, O camel, come and fetch and carry like the rest of us. Hump, said the camel, and the dog went away and told the man. Second time, when the dog came, on that time dog came in front of him with a stick. Dog had taken a stick in his mouth and said to the camel, come and fetch. There is a word fetch. What do you mean by the word fetch? Go and bring. Camel, O camel, go and bring and carry like the rest of us, just like I am carrying the stick in my mouth. So please you come with me and bring the sticks, just like the rest of us are doing the work. Hump, said the camel, and the dog went away and told the man. And again he repeated the same word hump, and the dog returned and told to the man. Presently the ox came to him with the yoke on his neck and said, Camel, O camel, come and plow like the rest of us. Hump, said the camel, and the ox went away and told the man. And third time, when the ox came in front of the camel with the yoke, and on that time, when the ox came, there was on his back yoke. Yoke means wooden bar put across the neck of animals. You have seen the wooden bar that is used on the time to plow the fields. When the ox plow the field, on that time yoke wooden bar put across the neck of animals. So when the ox came with yoke on his neck, and when he said, Camel, O camel, come and plow like the rest of us, on that time also camel repeated the same thing hump, and the ox went away and he said to the man. At the end of the day, the man called the horse and the dog and the ox together and said, 303, I am very sorry for you. And on that time, when the man called all the three, the horse, the dog, and the ox together, all together, on that time the man said, 303, please listen, I am very sorry for you. But that hump thing in the desert can't work, or he would have been here by now. So I am going to leave him alone, and you must work double time to make up for it. So the man told to them, three of them, I am very sorry for you, but that hump thing, the man said, for the camel in the desert can't work. The camel can't work, or he would have been here by now, and he would live here by now. So I am going to leave him alone. So I'm going to leave him alone in the desert, and you must work double time to make up for it. And he said to them, you have to work double, means that you have to work double time to make up for it, to complete the remained work that had been not done by the camel. Means that you have to done the work portion of camel the camel had not done. That made the three very angry, and they held a panchayat on the edge of the desert, and the camel came chewing cud and laughed at them. Then he said hump and went away again. So again, that made the three very angry. The three became very angry, and they had held a panchayat at the edge, at the corner, at the verge of the desert, and the camel came chewing. What do you mean by the word here? Chewing? Chewing the curd. Chewing the curd means move jaws and teeth to grind food. Means that he was eating something by moving his jaws and teeth to grind food. And he was laughing. And the camel came chewing cud and laughed at them. Then he said hump and went away again. When they held the panchayat on that time, the camel passed to the way, and the camel was laughing and chewing cud, moving his jaws and teeth to grind food. Then he only said hump and went away again. Presently they came along the jinn, who was in charge of all deserts, rolling in a cloud of dust. And soon, in the desert, the jinn, who was in charge of all the deserts, came in a rolling in a cloud of dust. Rolling means he came wrapped. The jinn was wrapped with dust and cloud, and he came in desert. Jinn of all deserts, said the horse, it is right for anyone to be idle. The horse said to jinn, it is right for anyone to be idle, to be lazy? Certainly not, replied jinn. Well said the horse, there is a thing in the middle of your desert with a long neck and long legs, and he has not done a stroke of work since Monday morning. He would not trot. So again, the horse was complaining. The horse was telling, there was a thing in the middle of your desert, and that thing had a long neck and long legs, and he has not done a stroke of work. What do you mean by stroke of work? A bit of work. He had not done a bit of work. From Monday, since Monday morning, and he would not trot, he would not move from his place. You, said the jinn, whistling, that my camel, what does he say about it? He says hump, and he would not plow, said the ox. Ox again complained that he is only repeating the same word, hump, and he would not plow the field till now. Very good, said the jinn. And I will hump if you will kindly wait a minute. So jinn said that you must wait a minute. I will convert him into a hump. So we will come on the next part in the next video.